So there were a few ugly people who complained about Eve being over-sexualized in this game, and because I'm very immature, I have now added multiple images of Eve in random places throughout this video, and none of them are safe for work. Tell me how many you find in the comments below before this video gets demonetized! So Stellar Blade came out a few days ago, and this game has been the talk of the town. Now, some of you might think I'm about to talk about the recent controversy that's been all over Twitter, but my question to you is, when did people on Twitter matter? Listen, here's something that might shock you. The majority of people on Twitter don't play video games. You think they have the time when they're too busy tweeting about why they hate video games? Honestly, you can sum up this whole Twitter drama around Stellar Blade in one clip.
She's so fine, she done pissing me off! How are you that fine,
So in this game, you play as Eve, a soldier of the Airborne Squad 7 Regiment, as you and your team are tasked to hunt down a new alien threat called the Naytibas. So after Squad 7 fails miserably, Eve unfortunately has to take the L and retreat to the city of Zion. And during this time, she comes across Cardboard, an actual personality, and finds out that Zion is on the brink of collapse. And in order to save the city, she has to collect the 4 hypercell cores. So now Eve's goal is to find the hypercell cores and destroy the Alpha Naytibas. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it a buck. The story was mid as hell. I did not give a shit about what was going on or what was being said, but maybe the story could be saved by giving us some compelling and unique characters. I now see why everyone was so focused on Eve's sex appeal, because that's kinda all she has going for her. I'm sorry, but Eve is such a boring character. Every single line is extremely one note, and I was ready to take a nap every single time she talked.
This is the Alpha Naytiba. You can tell by looking at its core. All airborne squad members exist for one sole purpose. All we must do is complete the mission. You can't be out here like this. A Naytiba might find you at any... What? Why is that so important to you? Hey, can you hear me?
I don't know how the directing was for this game, but I do not blame the actress for this. You wanna know why? Because she also played Alfira in Baldur's Gate 3. How in the fuck?
Larissa lets me practice up here when she's on shift downstairs. She's too good to me. But you, I have a bone to pick with you, oh brave adventurer.
Though, to be fair to her, every character in this game is boring. I don't know if the developers were trying to go for a very lifeless atmosphere in this game, but if they were, I think they took it a step too far. This game feels lifeless in the worst way possible. Not because it's a post-apocalyptic world, but because it feels like someone grabbed the vacuum cleaner and sucked out all of the color from the story, characters, and the world itself. I talked a lot about style over graphics in my Bomb Rush Cyberpunk review, and man does this feel like the polar opposite. There is no denying that this game has stellar graphics, no pun intended, but it doesn't matter how good your game looks when everything feels dull. And that's not to say that Stellar Blade doesn't have some unique looking character designs. But then they talk.
By fusing 4 alpha cores together, you create something called a master core. Only with the master core will you be able to reach the very deepest corner of the nest.
All of the characters have the exact same tone in their voice, and it feels like I'm talking to actual robots. I just played Persona 3 Reload a few months back. How does the one robot in that game have more personality than every character in this game? The only character that has at least a sprinkle of personality in this game is Lily. And it honestly started to piss me off, because it made me wish I was playing her instead.
Welcome to Lily's Atelier. This is my favorite green garden. Have a look around.
Though while Eve does lack in the personality department, she thankfully shines in the combat department. The combat in Stellar Blade is the best part of the entire game. The hack and slash elements felt very crisp, and the parry system was done perfectly. I'd even say that the parry system was on the level of Sekiro. That is how good it was. Honestly, Stellar Blade shines when it's only focused on the gameplay, because even doing the side task in the open world was actually fun to do. So if you're not really a big story guy, I think you will really enjoy this game. But even though the side tasks in the open world were fun, talking to the NPCs was not.
I am Digger. I have innumerable thoughts concerning my existence, and I am capable of making fantastic plans.
I told you this would be fun. You see what I mean?
It really says a lot when I started to miss the side missions in Final Fantasy XVI over this game. Now, with that being said, for as dull as this game felt, the music was at least able to add some color to this game. The music did what the story and characters couldn't, and that was give the game atmosphere. The moments when it's just the music and the combat, I immediately get immersed in this game. But with all that said, Stellar Blade gave us some great combat, a stellar soundtrack, but the story and characters in this game feels too lifeless for me. As I said before, if you are only coming into this game for the gameplay and music, then you will very much enjoy this game. So with all that said, my final verdict for Stellar Blade is the silver seal of approval.